Welcome back, crypto family. This is XRP before 10K, 10th Life Edition, episode 36. Today is July 17th, 2025. This episode, I just really want to just talk to y'all, because it's a lot that you guys don't realize that's going on. So let's start it off like this. Basically, the United States, at one point they had 200,000 Bitcoin, right? They damn near sold all their Bitcoin. They only have 28,000 left. With the Genius Act, once the Genius Act gets accepted, Tether, which directly is linked to Bitcoin, is going down. Like it's going away, basically. And with that being said, Bitcoin is going to go to zero, y'all. Bitcoin is going to go to zero, and all the money that was in Bitcoin is going to be put into XRP. XRP is the true Bitcoin. That's why the United States sold all their Bitcoin and they only have 28,000 left. Is because what Bitcoin basically is, like I said, it's a Trojan horse. They use Bitcoin to get the evil Cabal on the blockchain, and then I think it was either today or yesterday, the United States printed out it was like $2 trillion out of thin air and put it into Bitcoin to raise the price of Bitcoin. And what they're basically doing is getting all these countries to put their money into Bitcoin, and then they're going to make it to where basically Tether is going to go down, so Bitcoin's going to go to shit. And with all the money that's going into Bitcoin, the United States, they're just putting it into XRP, so that when Bitcoin goes to shit, XRP is going to rise, and it's going to put us in the position to basically be ahead of the whole entire world. And that's what people are not realizing. Also, Ethereum too. Ethereum, I've been saying this for a while, but Ethereum is going to go to shit. Ethereum is going to go to shit, and XDC is going to replace it. If you don't know what XDC is, I would look into it. But yeah, Ethereum is going to go to shit, and Bitcoin is going to go to shit. So please be careful, family. Make sure you get XRP and XDC. It's not financial advice, but I'm just saying, like, XDC will replace Ethereum. XRP will replace Bitcoin. Like I said, the United States is printing as much money as they can before the Genius Act goes into effect. Because once the Genius Act goes into effect, Tether is destroyed. And if Tether is destroyed, Bitcoin is destroyed. So, I'm telling y'all, XRP is the new Bitcoin, family. Man, there's so much knowledge that I have on XRP. Something outside my tent. There's an animal outside my tent. I don't know what it is, but I don't know what that is, fam. But yeah, XRP is the new Bitcoin. XDC is the new Ethereum. And like I said, I'm living in a tent, fam, but I'm telling y'all, y'all can go on my X account at Nevermore171 and look at the information. Y'all are gonna see I'm not gonna be in this tent for too long now. I'm really not. Because once XRP replaces Bitcoin, are you kidding me? And I wanted to mention this to you guys. Do you guys know that XRP is God's system? A lot of you guys don't know, but the internet itself, like the frequency of the internet, it was found. The system was built, like computers, etc. That was built, but the internet itself was found because it's divine. The internet, you know, is created by God. And this is the same thing with XRP. A lot of people don't know, but Ripple, the company, was created. XRP was found. XRP is divine. XRP is created by God. XRP is part of the Bible, but you guys don't realize that. You guys don't realize that. And with XRP, oh, okay, but yeah, with XRP, oh my God, I'm getting destroyed, man. With XRP, Ripple, it will hold all the value in the world, fam. It will hold all the value in the world. XRP is the internet of value, meaning they can tokenize whatever they want and put it on the ledger. Houses, cars, whatever it is, and put it on the ledger on a global scale. All they have to do is tokenize the value. And for XRP to properly work, family, and this is coming from me in a tent, so watch how this video ages. Like, this series I'm doing is going to be one of the most iconic series that you ever seen on YouTube once XRP does what I'm telling y'all it's going to do. XRP will hold all the value in the world, a market of 100 quadrillion in value. 100 quadrillion in value. Oh, I just got held hostage in Call of Duty. But yeah, 100 quadrillion in value. And for the liquidity to work how they need it to be, XRP, like the ideal price for XRP would need to be $1 million. It's not going to get there just like that, but that's what they're aiming for. $1 million per coin, per XRP. And a lot of you guys don't realize, like I said, this is God's system. Once things get going, you guys are going to start to hear about quantum financial system redemption centers. That's why they call it the QFS. This is the quantum financial system. It's spiritual, family. This is the spiritual realm that the world is slowly like changing frequency into. These quantum financial or these redemption centers, people are going to have appointments and they're going to go to these redemption centers to get their money back from their birth certificate. And that's why they're locking up the United States and not letting people in, etc., because we're going to be getting our money back from our birth certificates, etc. And there's this thing called Gatekeeper AI, which is God's AI. And when you go to these redemption centers, your body is going to be scanned. Your frequency, your aura, your intentions, everything, it's going to be scanned. And if you're not genuine, if you don't have good intentions, etc., if you know, you might not get access to your money, because this system is not for the wicked. For the wicked, this is the mark of the beast system. Like, this is going to be hell. For the genuine, the divine, like, you're going to be blessed. Me, I'm going to get a spiritual inheritance because I am from the direct bloodline of Yahuwah, Yahusha, you know, the real Jesus, the real God. I am from that direct bloodline. If you know, you know. Like, the real Jesus, he's black. He's black. He's from the tribe of Judah. I'm from that tribe. I'm from that bloodline, family. I truly am. You guys are gonna see. When I say I'm highly favored by God, I am. If you go back on my older episodes, you'll see my spiritual awakening in 4K, the entire thing. And I always tell y'all, I'm a prophet. I am. I have spiritual gifts. I have a spiritual team. I call them the collective. I will get more spiritual gifts in the future once I get into this house that God has promised me. And like I said, he promised me my house and promised me my 222. And remember that 222. Remember 222. Because when she comes back around, I'm going to prove it to you guys that with her birth date, which is 222, that's who I was talking about, and she came back, and she will, because it's a promise from God. But let's get more back into the XRP talk. So it is a divine system, family. It is God's system. If you go to these redemption centers and you try to steal someone's identity to get their inheritance or their money from the birth certificate, etc., you might be killed. It just depends, or you might be sent to hell, etc. Things like that, because the system is not for the wicked. And me being who I am, I'm divine. I'm part of the bloodline of the Most High, and Yahusha, which is the real Jesus. I get a spiritual inheritance, and I'm doing God's work. I'm doing God's work. Once all this comes true, maybe you guys, like, your mind and your eyes and your soul and spirit will open up to realize that I am who I say I am. God has me doing this work before it all happens, so that when it all happens, you guys can respect me for who I am. I am royalty. I'm divine royalty. Yes, I'm in a tent, but that doesn't matter. It's part of the process. It's part of the process. And just because, you know, I have a father, a mother, siblings, that doesn't mean they're a part of what I'm a part of. You know, God chooses who he favors. Yeah, you know, they could be part of, like, the tribe or whatever, etc., but I am divine. Specifically, I've been like this since birth. I've had gifts since birth. I am who I am. I'm just reincarnated on this world. I've been here many a times. I know I have. I've definitely been here many a times. But yeah, so these redemption centers that you guys don't even know about, I'm telling y'all, get right with the Most High. Yahuwah. Say his name right. Yahuwah. Don't just keep calling him God. Call him by his name. Yahuwah. Y-A-H-U-A-H. Yahuwah. Call him by his name, and you'll start seeing a change. Stop being deceived. They are Hebrew from the tribe of Judah. I'm telling you guys. Oh wow, that just got killed. But I also want to talk about, like, the gatekeeper AI. That's God's AI. If you go into these redemption centers trying to lie, etc., it's gonna call your bluff. If you got into XRP just to get rich, bro, that's not what the system is for. This system is for people that are doing God's work that need some money. Like, I'm already doing God's work, Yahweh's work. I'm already doing the work. If you're trying to tell yourself, oh, well, I need this money in order to do God's work, that's BS. That's BS. You could be doing it right now. Like I am. I'm doing it. I tell y'all about spirituality. I tell y'all about the true names and things like that. And with this money, I will actually be able to build a temple, a spiritual temple that speaks the truth. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I am going to do. I'm going to build a spiritual temple. And, you know, Gatekeeper AI, it knows all this. It knows my true intentions. It knows I'm divine. It knows who I am. So, you know, I'm going to get my spiritual inheritance. Regardless of how much XRP I have, I am going to get my spiritual inheritance, which could be all the money in the world. You just never know. Because I am favored by the Most High, and I am divine, and I'm part of the bloodline. I am a prophet. I am who I say I am. So just get right. Y'all need to get right, because when these redemption centers come, your whole spirit is going to be scanned. And if you're bullshitting, you're probably not going to get shit besides, you know, whatever it is. Like, let's just say I have 5,000 XRP and you have 5,000 XRP. They're not giving everybody the same amount of money per coin. It's based off of your frequency, etc. So some people, they could damn near probably get $5 per XRP, or whatever the amount is, 500 XRP. But at the same time, I could go in there being divine, who I am, and they could give me $1 million per XRP. But that's just how the system is. And with this system, when you guys do get this money, etc., you're not supposed to tell anyone how much you got, because this is our blessing, family. Don't tell wicked people how much you got. Don't, because you could get in trouble. You could lose it all, as in like get punished. You could be sent on a 90-day period where you can't touch it. You could just get it all taken from you, because this is God's system. You got to keep your mouth shut. Me, if I get when I get my spiritual inheritance, I'm not telling y'all shit. I'm not telling y'all shit, because it's my inheritance. You guys don't need to know what my bloodline blessed me with. You're not part of my bloodline. You're not. And there's certain things that you just got to keep on the hush to keep the world where it needs to be. I don't need the Rothschilds knowing what I got from my family, my ancestors. I don't need them to know. They have no business. They have no space in this world, you know? They don't. But with that being said, I wanted to tell you guys about this. There's something called a 3D ledger, which is basically the ledger that all of you guys are going to have access to, right? The 3D ledger. There is 2 ledgers, so don't get it confused. There's a 3D ledger and a 5D ledger. And you guys are hearing this from me. I'm spiritually tapped in, and information is put in front of me. But yeah, there's a 3D ledger and there's a 5D ledger. 3D ledger is for worldly people, regular, everyday people. And then the 5D ledger is for the divine, you know, the divine, the spiritually tapped in, connected. It might just be people of like the bloodline, you know, of my bloodline. I'm not really sure, but it's a ledger that we get access to, and I'm not necessarily sure, but I'm pretty sure whenever, like, you know, we get access to this 5D ledger, it's infinite knowledge, it's infinite resources, and like infinite protection or something like that. But it's a ledger that only I will be able to see, because I'm part of the divine bloodline. I'm spiritually tapped in. It's something that I will be able to get, you know? But the rest of y'all, you know, there's some people in here that are watching this that are divine. You might be part of my bloodline. If you know, you know. If you don't know and you're questioning, and if you're part of the bloodline, it's either you're not part of it or you have not unlocked your DNA. And a lot of us, we have spiritual gifts, and we have Yahuwah's matrix code in our DNA. But a lot of us, we just don't know how to unlock it. And that's why I try to teach all about spirituality and things, so you guys can unlock your DNA if you have that in your DNA. Because the code in my DNA, the code specifically in my DNA, is the code that breaks the matrix. It breaks the matrix, family. I could do anything in this realm because I hold the genetic code in my DNA, and I have unlocked it. But yeah, there's a 3D ledger and a 5D ledger. And you guys are going to see. I mean, you're not going to see my 5D ledger, but you guys are going to see once you go into these redemption centers and realize that you just got your whole frequency scanned, dude. You're going to be like, oh, I remember Numb Friend. He was talking about that. A while back, he was talking about that. It's going to happen, family. And, oh, man. So, like, this world for the wicked, this is like the beast system. It's going to be hell on earth for people that are wicked. For the blessed, the ones that are saved by the Most High, Yahuwah, and Yahusha, this is going to be heaven on earth. The frequency of this world is changing. It is greatly changing. And, you know, I'm surprised I'm going to say it, but thank you, Trump, for bringing that in. I feel like, personally, Trump, he was with the devil when he first, you know, started all his shit. But I think midway, or like towards, like, recently, in the last year or so, I think that he got saved by the Most High. I think he did, because he's helping bring the system in. And if you guys want to know where I got this knowledge from, I posted on my X account, but where I got this knowledge from about the 5D ledger, the 3D ledger, Gatekeeper AI, redemption centers. Oh, I didn't even tell y'all about quantum phones and Starlink. Soon, we're all going to get quantum phones, which is basically going to hold our identity. It's going to hold our bank. Everything is all going to be connected to Starlink. So fraud, all that fraud and all that shit, out the window. Because anything you do on those phones with finances, etc., it's going to come back to you regardless. So we're all going to get quantum phones from Elon Musk that connect to Starlink, or from the government, you know, but they're quantum phones, and it links up with the quantum financial system. All this stuff that we're going to is quantum and spiritual, all of it, family. So you guys need to wake up. Like, I'm here telling y'all, I'm so serious. Like, I could cry, because it's like, a lot of y'all are not saved. A lot of y'all are living wicked, lustful. You know, you're living through lust, greed, etc. I know all this that is happening, and I have a humble amount of XRP. I don't need all the XRP in the world. I'm not greedy. I'm humble. I'm going to keep trying to accumulate, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm humble. I'm spiritually blessed. And like I said, I'm getting a spiritual inheritance. So it's like, regardless of how much XRP I accumulate right now, I'm going to be blessed with a lot of money, you know. And that's because I am who I am, and I've already told all of y'all what I'm doing with my money, etc. I'm here to raise the frequency of consciousness on this planet. That's why I was put here on this earth. That's why I'm in front of y'all right now. I'm playing Call of Duty, but yeah, quantum foam, Starlink, it's coming, y'all. It's coming. And I just want y'all to know, the mark of the beast, all that is coming. So I hope you guys got your cold storage wallets, etc. And one thing about it, family, a lot of you guys are stacking up on gold, silver, etc. But it doesn't really matter. Like, you guys think that you guys are going to stock up on gold, silver, etc. And then once the price of all these minerals jumps, you guys are going to get rich. No. The value that they're going to change for gold, silver, etc. is only for the minerals, etc. that they have gotten from the Vatican. When the Pope died, Donald Trump went in there and he got everything that we were owed. All the minerals, everything, all the gold, every single thing that is rightfully ours, he went and got it. He's going to reevaluate the price of gold, silver, etc. But only for like the minerals and resources that he obtained from the Vatican. Like, your gold, your silver, etc. that you have, it's probably going to stay at that same price. It's not going to jump in price. You know, you can sell it to him, etc. But you're not going to be selling it to him at the price that he's going to be repricing it at. Like, it's not like that. Your best chance is to get XDC and XRP and hope that they don't confiscate all the XRP and XDC. Because yes, who's trying to shoot me? Hold up. Because yes, there is going to be a new price for XRP, etc. But when it comes to these redemption centers, everybody is going to get different. Everybody is going to get a different amount for what they have. Like I said, you could get $10 at XRP or $1,000 at XRP. And since I'm divine, and like, this is no ego, no like, I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just saying, like, I am who I am. I'm part of the divine bloodline. I've done the work, you know. I've healed. I've done the spiritual work. I have my spiritual awakening. I woke up. I unlocked my DNA. I've been doing what God's been telling me to do. And, you know, they could give me $1 million per XRP. It just depends on y'all's frequencies. And this is why I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all need to get right with God, and y'all need to get y'all's frequencies right. Your frequency right, your aura. You guys need to heal. You cannot get right with the Most High before you heal yourself. You got to heal yourself, family, before you get right with the Most High. You have to. And I hope you guys are like really taking this in, because where I got this information from, it perfectly lines up with my spirit. Because like I said, I talk to God for people, and I've been hearing about an inheritance for like the past month now. Like all I've been hearing is, your inheritance is coming, and inheritance is coming. And I'm just like, okay, on my mom's side and my dad's side, nobody has money. Like, there is no inheritance, so what are they talking about? And then I came across this information, and it was talking about the 5D ledger and the 3D ledger, and inheritance that people are going to get, certain people are going to get once they go to these redemption centers that they're going to be able to claim. And where I got this information from, I keep saying that, but where I got this information from is, there's this dude, right, on the Rumble app, and my homie, well, he's my homie through the internet, right? But SPRAUY on X, he put me on, and basically I watched all the episodes, like 3 or 4 episodes of what this guy was talking about. And this specific dude, he was in the White House in 1960 when they were creating Ripple, and when they found XRP, etc. in 1960. He was in that group in the White House. The dude personally, he didn't sign any NDA, so he's able to talk about it, you know, without getting in trouble. But he was in the White House, in that inner circle, when they were creating Ripple, and when they found XRP, and he was saying XRP is divine. XRP is divine. It was created by the Most High. It was found. And they've been creating this system, Ripple, they've been creating this system since 1960. And this directly links to the Bible. It directly links to the Bible. So, family, just get right. You know, we're almost 30 minutes into this, but this is a lot of information, and I want you guys to have it. XRP is easily going to go to 10K, family. It's not financial advice, but I'm trying to tell you, as your spiritual teacher, you know, someone that's divine, part of that bloodline. Like, I'm part of a royal bloodline, a real royal bloodline, not no Rothschild fake shit, none of that shit. I'm part of the real royal bloodline, and you guys are going to see that. When you guys see me in my big house, when you guys see all that, Yahuwah did that for me. God did that for me. Yahusha did that for me. That's my father, and that's my grandfather. Like, Yahuwah, like, that's my great grandfather. You know, like, that's my family. That is my family. Nobody can take that from me. I got banned on TikTok, you know, like I said, by my evil ex. First day I did, it was like first 2 days I already did 10,000 views. I'm already at 150 followers. You know, so nothing can stop that, because it's my essence and it's in my DNA. But I want y'all to rewatch this and go on the Rumble app, family, please, and search up 5D Ledger, search up Gatekeeper AI, search up redemption centers, search up quantum phones with Starlink, search it all up, because you guys need to wake up. I could save you right now. And I'm not Jesus, God, Yahweh, you know, I'm not them, but I can get you guys on the right path so that they can save you. But anyways, you know, let me put the controller down. Let me pray for y'all, and I'm going to end it at 30 minutes. Yahusha, as the one that you are favoring, as the vessel that you are currently using, Yahweh, please put a blanket of protection over my family, my crypto family. They are trying to seek you out. They've been lied to by this world. They have been lied very bad and deceived. And I know their intentions are good. It's just they might not have your names right. They might not have the true story, but please open their eyes. Please, because this is getting very serious, and we're about to, the world is changing. The world is changing, and they need to know the truth. Please allow them to wake up. Please touch their spirit and their soul. and just open them up to receive the truth, because a lot of people are not open to receive the truth. For the wicked, give them what they deserve. For the wicked, give them karma. Damn them. But you would do that. I don't have to tell you to do that. You know you're going to do that. And for the blessed, the divine, the ones that have good intentions, please bless them. I know everybody can't be part of the 5D ledger. Everybody is not part of the royal bloodline of the Most High. But that doesn't mean that there's not people that are doing right and that follow you and that love you. So please just protect us. In Yahushua's name. Amen. And that's it, crypto family. I love y'all, but y'all needed that information more than y'all needed me to read a book to you guys. But I love y'all. Peace, family.